I mean, that sucked, but wait a minute. Didn't we already do this? Yeah, but the mic was unplugged, so we get to do it again. Save the bit. Praise the Yord? Praise the Yord indeed. Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 69 of the regular season. Nice, by the way, where the Astros lose 5-3 to the San Francisco Giants and drop the final game of the series out in San Francisco. And I think it is a very, very, very fitting way for this to end in terms of the Astros, after just having a little road trip out west that was so close to being really, really, really great, and just ended up kind of being meh, as I realized as I finished the video I had the mic unplugged. Life imitates art, and it is kind of beautiful. This game stunk. The offense was meh. The pitching was straight up bad. The offense being meh, it happens. And that's really what this boils down to, but we're going to get to that in a second. You had the Jeremy Pena RBI. You had Yordan Alvarez with the 2-run shot. It's unbelievable how he's rebounded after having a bad start to the year. And I say bad like that because, like, he wasn't bad. He just wasn't Yordan Alvarez. And if being above average, but not, like, an unbelievable world-eating player, if you've set yourself on that kind of a pedestal, that's honestly a pretty good situation to be in, and Yordan Alvarez is definitely in that situation. But he's rebounded. The batting average is almost back to 300. The OPS is almost back to 9. I have no idea what it's going to end up at, but yeah, he's raking. And the prediction of him possibly getting to around 50 home runs, there's still going to be a good bit to climb, but dude, the way he's starting to rake again in the month of June, if he keeps it up, I can see that climbing back into reality. The biggest issue with this game was Framber Valdez. And it was a bad game. It was a really bad game. 4 innings of 5-run ball with 1 strikeout from your ace, supposedly, is unacceptable. And the biggest issue with Framber Valdez this season and last season, he is far too inconsistent. It's a problem, guys. And it's not, oh, he has a rough start, but then he turns it on like Kyle Tucker did for a while there before he just decided, hey, what if I hit like in May and April how I hit in September, and then became this monster that he is this season. It's not a month-to-month thing with Framber, where, oh, he'll have a month where he's unbeatable, and then a month where he can't hit the broadside of a barn. It's game in, game out. You don't know if you are going to get a 9-inning gem, where it's one of the most dominating games of the season, or if he's not going to make it through the 5th. And today he didn't make it through the 5th. And it ultimately, to go back to the point I was going to make, this game doesn't suck if you win those 2 walk-offs. The Astros won the series against the Angels. That's good. They lose the final game of it in a walk-off fashion, despite leading in the 8th inning. You have a 2-run lead in the first game of the series on Monday night, and then you blow it in the bottom half of the 10th. If you were here with a 5-0 road trip to that point, I'm not going to care that the offense had an off night and that Framber Valdez had a bit of a blow-up start. You go 5-1 out west, that's fantastic. I'm not going to complain about that at all. But when you just fumble away 2 incredibly winnable games and wind up going 3-3, again, in the 7-19 pit that you dug yourself, mediocre, slightly above average, it's not good enough. They've got to win those close games so that games like this don't hurt as much. Because we're not putting it under a microscope and talking about, oh man, I don't know what we do about Framber if you go 5-0 to start the road trip. And I know saying, oh, if you go 5-0, no one's going to complain about the 6th game sounds really stupid, but it's the truth. If you had done what you very easily could have done, we're not having this conversation. And we're not talking about now how you get to go face off against the Tigers, who maybe are solid. At the very least, the first guy on the mound you get to stare down is incredibly solid and incredibly dominating this season. But now that's where we're at. Because you get a day off, solid, but then you get to start a series against the Detroit Tigers. First game, you're going to send Hunter Brown to the mound and pause for necks or hairs on your neck to stand up, because who even knows? Hopefully that ends well. Hopefully that ends well. And the Tigers are going to send a possible Cy Young candidate to the mound. Tarek Skubal. Dude, he's unbelievable. Having a stupid good season with a 1.92 ERA and 96 strikeouts through 79 innings with a whip under 1.9 or under .9. That is disgusting. Like, that is actually filthy and disgusting and a crime for him to pitch like that. First game's at 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central, Friday night, and I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. But as for right now, that's all I have to say. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.